All right, we're going to take you to a part of that interaction where Smriti Irani, the HRD minister, got very emotional. She broke down. Take a look.
Did that happen with you? Did you have somebody who believed in you, or was it just something that, you decided that this is something that I have to do and it's just self-starting, self-propelling?
I remember a time where when I wanted to leave Delhi and go to Mumbai and pursue a career. And at that time, now that I'm a parent myself, very naturally my father was very, very concerned, because I was going to a new city where I knew nobody, and I was going to a medium or a profession where he knew no one and he could not protect me. And I remember my mother just said, let her be. If we have instilled good values in her, and if you think your daughter has that capacity, she'll succeed. If she doesn't, be prepared so that if she fails and comes back, at least we console her. And I think that was one of the biggest steps in my life. I remember somebody asking me, what makes you so sure that you're going to succeed? I don't know. I just knew, because I told my parents that success or failure, it will be mine, and I'll be best judged on it. But in terms of my political life, I think I've been quite fortunate that I've been judged on the basis of my work by my organization and taken forward accordingly. And I would rather be judged that way, on the basis of my work. And we have a Prime Minister who, irrespective of gender or a person's background, judges you on the basis of your work. So that is an added blessing.
He has called you his choti behan.
Yes,
that is another blessing, isn't it?
I was quite overwhelmed when he did that. It was quite unexpected. Oh gosh, it was quite unexpected. Yes. He comes from a very, very poor family. I guess somewhere he recognized that.
Yeah.
And whatever. Yes.
Smriti, I was there in Amethi
Yes.
in the speech where he actually called you Choti Behan.
Yes.
So I'd like to ask you, what is it that you did, or what are your tips for getting into the good books, in this case of your boss, from being an outsider 10 years ago to being his Choti Behan?
If you've looked at the journey of Narendra Modi, I think everybody was very celebratory of the fact that I became a minister. But the high point in my life was when he called me Choti Behan. If you take away my ministership, I'd give it up any day. But I'd keep that blessing of his forever. Kali, it's not about, I think men and women have a sense of knowing when somebody is just buttering up to climb the ladder. And I think your boss would know it too. And I think that a successful person is one who would rather live with self-respect. And I think the best way to be popular at work is just to do your job diligently and not be bothered about any other response that you get. As an employee or as somebody who is following a project, my endeavor has always been, let me complete that goal, let me complete that project, and then let me leave. I'm not tied down or not fascinated by the position I hold today, because it's temporary. This is just a phase in my life. And since I'm not fascinated by that position, I do nothing to endear myself to other people. I just make sure I do my job and go back home to 2 kids who don't judge me by my job. They just love me unconditionally.
One more question, Kaveri, please. Kaveri, one more question, please. And can you tell us how Mr. Modi has changed in the 10 years that you have known him? What has been his personal growth? Because he has changed as a person and as a leader as well. So can you talk a little bit about what you've seen at close quarters?
It's shocking that though he calls me Choti Behan, I've not known him personally that well. I know, it is shocking. And I think that's why you saw me very overwhelmed on stage that day. I've only spoken to him about my work and my projects. I haven't spoken to him about his personal journey, though I have witnessed the place that he was born in and have spoken to people who have been a part of his journey. And I think that's what makes him very enigmatic. The fact that he knows kaun makhan laga raha hai aur kaun sirf kaam kar raha hai. and the fact that he knows that the mandate that we have got is hope resurrected in this country. This is the people of India giving the politicians of India one last chance. This is the people of India saying, we want to believe you. Will you deliver? And it is my responsibility as a minister to say, yes, we will deliver.
Smriti, just an additional question there. I think what emerges is that there's a sort of new meritocracy in place, which does not look at where you came from,
Yes.
who your father or your mother were,
Yes.
which school you went to, which college you went to, where you're judged by your work, by your hard work. So do you feel that this is going to be the new order? Because I think we'd all love a situation like that.
I think this is what India is all about.
Yeah.
It is not a country which is fascinated by the days of the Raj anymore. It is a country what wants to rule the world now. And which says that I don't want handouts. I just want a situation to be created for me, a government to facilitate my growth, and I don't want a dole. I think that if personally I would describe this particular journey or this aspect of our society, my mother worked as a housekeeper at Taj Mansingh. And I remember, I used to study in a tent wala school. I don't think the school walas know. It is in R.K. Puram, called Little Flowers. And every day I would pass this school called Holy Child Auxilium, which was in a pakka building. And I would tell my mom, how do we get in there? She said, well, at Taj we have this scholarship scheme. If you get 60%, then they pay a little bit more and I can possibly afford that school for you. And I remember a chef, after her night duty, who used to pack up this brilliant sandwich, which is the club sandwich at Taj, which has a rabbit forked orange, I think, toothpick in it. And he would very nicely, because my mother had 3 daughters, and my mother would say, my eldest loves that sandwich. So he would quietly pack one at 6 in the morning and leave her for home. And she would come.
Managing Editor Rahul Kaval is with us on the phone line for more on that operative part of that interaction with Smriti Irani that you just saw. Rahul, a rare sort of glimpse into an emotional moment that apparently caught Smriti Irani when she was asked about the Choti Behan, remark, and she really just gave in to the moment and broke down. Clearly an extremely moving moment for her.
Yeah, she later said that she didn't realize that she choked up and that for a moment her eyes had welled up. That's how emotional she got when she was asked about her relationship with Narendra Modi and why he considers her to be a Choti Behan. She was very candid. She said, I actually don't know him very well, and each time we've spoken, it's never been about his personal journey or what I've been through in my life. It's only been about work, our projects, our plans. So she was very candid to make it clear it's not as if she has a great personal equation with him. It's entirely transactional. It's entirely work dependent. That's how she's built this bond. She says it's not about flattering Narendra Modi by saying things which seem nice to him. It's also about going out and getting the work done. And she's very firm and insistent that it's her work that got her close to Modi. But Shiv, in the midst of all of this, there's another minor storm in a teacup that seems to have started to brew, with some Congress leaders now questioning the Yale degree that Smriti Irani spoke about. Remember, at the India Today Women's Summit, one lady asked her about her college degree, the fact that in one affidavit she said that she studied till she's completed her BA correspondence. In the other affidavit in 2014, she said she's done her first part. Replying to that question, she says that she's got a degree from Yale. Now, several people from the Congress have called immediately after that to say they would like to see Smriti present that degree, the Yale degree, to the public. In fact, when I asked Smriti that question, she said, Rahul, take me to court. That's where we'll answer that question. She was firm that file a PIL, I'll scream you in court, or we'll answer that question in court. But now, apart from the controversy around the School of Correspondence, whether she's Part A, which is the first year, or she's completed her degree, there's another controversy about whether or not she actually has a degree from Yale, or did she misrepresent or mislead, or was she confused between, say, a short-term program at Yale, confusing that for a full-fledged degree? Sure.
So Rahul, do you see this, becoming the nub of a fresh bit of a controversy? I mean, we've seen it happen before. Could it lead to, another fight?
Well, all MPs, not all MPs, several MPs go to Yale on a short-term study program. Where people who are elected to the legislatures of other countries come as well. It's about governance, administration at a very senior level. Abhishek Singhvi's been on one, Rudy, several others have been on a similar program. Now, is Smriti referring to that particular program, which is confusing for a degree, or suggesting that it's a degree, or does she actually have a Yale degree? Because if there is one, it's not mentioned in her affidavit because she only says she's BA Part 1, first year. Or does she actually have a degree, or is it a short-term program? So this is something that Congress people have been calling up and pointing out towards, because remember, Ajay Markan had taken it up in a big way when the controversy first erupted around her affidavit. Now she's gone out and said this. It remains to be seen what the political fallout is. However, as far as answering this particular question is concerned, Shiv, she seems fairly firm. I asked that question twice over. She didn't answer the question. She says it's an attempt to get me sidetracked, not let me function on my work, which is not really the case. She's a public representative. There's a discrepancy in her affidavit. To my mind, she needs to answer the question, but she's quite firm. She doesn't wish to. And she said, anybody who wants me to answer the question, take me to court.
Rahul, thanks very much for that.